Now we continue along here for season 11 Save the World season. On to chapter 2 this morning. Save Metroville. More races to race along here, so have been what we can do. Alright, first race here. Bridgeway class race. Win and activate 5 manual boosts. Be able to do that here. Dash dash! Breakdown. Come on, Impact theme song. Yeah, I don't have any idea why I would remember it, but maybe it was just that impactful to me. My first real action in the first-person mecha combat. Fun. Two. Rapid the puncher. 3. 4. 5. I like to use those triple boosts over really tall jumps like that. Get the speed loss to get the air time back to the ground a little faster. Gormon Impact. Made anime for anime. It's an old Konami game series. Gormon Impact was the name of it. Giant Robo on the Mystical Ninja series. Someone on that Texas 64 game yet. What kind of words are these? I want to say there's at least 4 or 5 games at least in the series. Overcomplicated anime movie conventions. And at least the Super Nintendo game I know. And they had 2 Nintendo 64 games, and I want to say at least 1 Game Boy or Game Boy Color one. Yeah, it was heavily a Japanese series, as one would expect, but it, in a lot of ways, the games kind of varied genre. Some of them were almost like a arcade fighting game, but mixed with an adventure game, kind of like the City Ransom series in a way. Kind of go exploring from town to town while also buying things from shops in RPG-like fashion, but the combat would be more like a arcade fighting game kind of situation, but you upgrade your character and weapons as you go along. It's actually kind of hard because as you got further along, your experience became kind of more important, so you hadn't really leveled up your character equipment very well. That made the post game quite tricky. I don't think I ever finished the Super Nintendo one. I had it on the Wii Virtual Console. I had a chance to play it back a little while back. I never finished any of the games, honestly. So the N64 ones, I think you're right. We did finish the first N64 one. That one played out. Like I said, that one played out kind of similar to Ocarina of Time. It was the larger not quite an open world, but like Ocarina of Time. Area exploration segmented, but it was a 3D game, so it played out quite a bit different from the other, but it had a similar loop system where you'd go to different dungeon regions or levels and fight enemies, explore, fight a boss, gain a new item so you can go to the next area and so on and so forth. But that one had mecha battles and stuff in it too, which I quite enjoyed. It's probably really the highlight of the game, to be honest. Then the third one shifted altogether, so that was a side-scrolling platforming game, which still had a lot of like exploration. Yeah, it was but pure side-scrolling instead of the kind of isometric sliding that you do on an arcade fighting game. Stage-based, so you actually, each of the games was slightly different. Game Boy 1 was more like the classic top-down Zeldas again, but jumped around. Like I said, I'm certain there's probably dozens of games in the series. This is on different Konami games like Crazy Racers on the Game Boy Advance. Goemon's a pretty proficient character, even if the series never really picked up here for what obvious reasons, because it was super Japanese. Weird as weird can get. Hoi poi plasma! Yep. The dancing muscle men with their bag hats. Too much nonsense. Too much nonsense. Certainly could probably find some miscellaneous clips on YouTube and whatnot, post that to the Discord for everyone's amusement. Yeah, continuing along here. It was. It's not necessarily as bad as like the translations for Denpa Men here were, but kind of in a similar wheelhouse. Alright, so stage 2 here. Athena's Circuit. Color match race, and the first of our Arby's challenges. Get that turned on. Win the race, go through wheel 11, speed pit. Hercules.
I'll do my best, and my best is super.
A hero's only as good as his
Let's say if any of them were defenders, I was gonna pick that, but none of them are.
Figure out an angle.
Let's grab Meg.
Always do. On it.
I don't think there's any of the games that I currently have access to, though. Said the ones we had the most experience with were the two Nintendo 64 versions. Back when you'd regularly rent things,
Are there any jumps on
Hollywood videos and their blockbusters.
about heights?
Wrong direction. Still. That's right. Speed passing save. Am I rambling? I keep forgetting what it is I'm actually working on here. Running an awful lot of speed pads. Some of the places where they normally wouldn't be close by these things. I don't think these count. I have to wind up doing this one over again. That's me.
Told you I could handle this.
Now we're right. If you at least get 5 or 6 each lap, you're okay. That's about all there was. Alright. Speaking of Meg, race shards there for her. And on stage number 3, Downtown Circuit, classic race. Win and perform 5 aerial stunts.
Going fast to find who I am. I go fast as a car.
Keep to the skies.
You're all gonna be toast.
Straight away here with the first 2 aerial stunts, so wasn't doing on that first one, but tried bouncing over too shallow. Should be a ramp here on the right. I think that's about it. At least 4 that you can get in. Keep them lapped easily anyway. There we go. You're right that time. Missed it. I often miss that grind rail there. Snug along that edge, weird, so I can't quite. Basically have to headbutt the barrier on there, and then sometimes I just end up bouncing off of it and missing it that way. Max goodies here. Now we're at stage number 4, Palm Forest, single skill race. Win and stun 5 opponents. We'll certainly try.
I'll do my best.
I do it here with the Thunder. He will make you should actually work out alright. And get his special ability early on, then trail of these behind counts as a stun.
Can I interest anyone on the speed?
I think it's alternate, isn't it? Single skill race if I recall that, so it doesn't matter. Thinking as usual. Oop. Alright, that's the game. I'll gather around so I actually have people to. I think we're good. Just because we can get a few more. It's like Diddy Kong racing. It's mischievous sprightly imp. Ace Ventura 2. General has been flat tire. Yes, that's a very funny ace. My kilo is starting to bleed. There we go, got that manual boost one too. Sweet. And moving on to stage number 5, next Arby's challenge. Under the jungle, classic race. Win and dash into opponents 8 times. We'll really try.
I'm really good at
Really
hearing
up
stuff.
in here.
Lay it on. Don't mind if I do be due.
One thing I dislike about speedsters is that they don't really get much from dashing into other racers. Defenders get their extra. Temporary shields there. Brawlers, of course, do a whole spin out and nitro fill. Then tricksters get bonus items as they go along.
Let's turn this into a cool
Speedsters just kind of briefly interrupt people, so if they're like in the middle of a dash, then they would cancel out the nitro. That'd be about it. Sorry, probably should boosting there. It's one. Don't want to go too fast or we're taking everyone, but two, three, 4, 5, 6. That was all I needed. Ability is really fun to use in a team race, especially if you and your teammate are near the front. Oh my god, this beanie! Thank you! I'm like, it's easier for me to get to. Looks like it was actually 8 times, so I needed to actually pay attention to what I was doing there. I have to go back and do that one. That was my mistake.
Yeah, let's get
5
with
seemed
the
like a
beat.
practical number there. Keep track of time, nice.
Don't start without. Don't anybody
Right.
hold back.
You just blink and I'm gone, man. Solid gone.
1, 2, 3.
Okie dokie.
Oh, welcome back. X. And pass this again so we have more people to hit. So I hate doing these challenges with much higher level racers. It's hard to keep up with everyone. Or take them pretty quick. Harry. Do another pass. That's been way too quick. I don't want to group it up there.
That's a damn.
If I can start parking on the track, it makes it hard for me to keep up with them there. There. Hopefully good go this time. I know I did more than 5. Yep.
All right now.
That's like when people try to tell you how to do things like wash your hands or brush your teeth with them. Typically, like sing this particular song in your head, and that's about the length of time that you do. This music, so it's a good option that way. It's better if you don't like speed up the song in your head compared to the average tempo, but like counting seconds. There, I that in properly that time. And grab these items here. Start from Mowgli, some season coins. More season coins. Head back down to stage number 6. Tunnel Rally, classic race. Win and drift for at least 15 seconds.
Going fast.
Probably do a little more than that. That I have no problem with. It's usually the challenges involve me having to interact with racers, either doing like dash into them or stunning them, that type of thing. Clow! Just in that window. Yeah! Get that hype going.
Don't worry. I promise I'll only be the best by a tiny bit. Stay back.
Testing out all those different channel point boards. Get bored someday eventually. Add more, but most of those came about as a specific thought process. That was season 1 stuck around. Spiders. Spiders! Halloween holdover. Saw it coming at me and I was like, I'll hit it anyway. Back bad again. Almost left all of them. Didn't use his run very often. Can't drift while running. Right. Duties there. And that brings us to stage number 7, mystery race. I did a few more races done here with the others that we're working on. More 3 stars for Bernie, Rusty, and Winston. Upgrade coins as always. Cool cat.
Can we race now?
And we still have some races. Vanilla piece, we'll try her first.
I can't wait to feel the wind through. I'll be faster than a penguin on a pole.
Who's got 2 thumbs and 5,000
There. But sometimes it's just faster to hit the X button and select it that way. A lot of characters to scroll through.
Everybody, come on!
There's not even a remote chance I won't win.
One thing I like about using her. Oh, glitch ability there. Be an excuse to intentionally crash into things. And of course, there's not a heck of a lot to crash into though, but sorry. Actually activate the ability. Ha! Oh, good. Always fun. Someday I get a lot of extra free time then. Go through and check out the food that we have in our collection there. Yeah, most of the Rabbids games from the at least early days of the series anyway. And really the only ones we're missing out on are something like the spin-off games on other consoles that there may have been. I think there was like a Kinect mini game that they had once. Always a fun time. Kind of helped to really expand and spread the whole multiplayer mini game genre. It's like Mario Party, but without the board game. Yep. One last we needed with Penelope. Oh, the other one's here with Jesse. Yeah, some of them were just like almost ports of the regular Wii versions that I already had, so it was like I didn't really need the other version. So yes, those are hard for me to stream anyway. And Raving Rabbids, Rabbids 2, Rabbids Go Home, Rabbids Sin Through Time, something like that. Of course, the first Mario Rabbids, got the second one. Played the trial for it when it came through. Actually, I liked it a little bit better than the first one, but I still have kind of a love-hate relationship with strategy games. And then there was a board game, party game on the Wii U. Honestly, kind of passable. Surprised we're racing the same course. The Mario Rabbids series, by and large, they haven't done too much with the series since. It's actually what originally kicked off the Just Dance series. Different little pose mini games with the Wii controllers on the first few entries, and then they had what was the definitive iteration of what became Just Dance as a mini game on Rabbids Through Time. Song with Walk the Dinosaur. It had the whole neon silhouette and everything else that became the picture for Just Dance, but it's less Rabbids. So it's an important factor. We pick up certain demographic information of people play certain games, and we find that they have a tendency to fixate on certain games, mini games within that game a lot more so than others. So just kind of zone in on that to make a more focused game from there. Turns out people really like flailing their arms around and pretending they're dancing. Ah yes, the Chinese Legend theme party one. That came out relatively recently. Kind of reminded me a lot of the other Wii U one as far as the, yeah, it wasn't feel quite as rabid as some of the others. That and the heavily Chinese influence. It made sense because I think it was like the first game Ubisoft's Chinese studio of some sort. So, trying to cut their teeth in the whole giving up the thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad game, like a demo for it, but didn't really resonate with me one way or the other. Exactly. One kid really loves the Speedo, man. I put that in the demographic information. Write that down. Highlight it in later episodes. Alright, continuing along here to stage number 8. Next Arby's challenge. Chase. Intentional what we're doing this time. Activate 12 drifters. That's fine. You can do that pretty easily.
Mickey Mouse, at your service.
No Mickey last time, so go with Goofy this time.
You can
It's a
count
quote from
on
The
me.
Simpsons. So they're trying to test out demographic information for the Itchy and Scratchy cartoon. So they had a little table set up as they're watching the episode for the kids to push buttons on the table for whenever they saw something in the show they really liked. So then the bully character ended up leaning over and mashing the button repeatedly when a character popped up on the screen to make one of the other kids look silly. Yeah, Millhouse.
Never give up.
It's like, oh, stop it!
Here goes nothing.
So that's when they're collecting the demographic information later. It's like the kids seem to like everything across the board. There's this and this. One kid really liked the Speedo Man. Just the holiday preference, the demographic nuisance they was making. Which sometimes makes collecting demographic information really hard that way, is that when you get that type of replay like that, I mean, it's like it's not necessarily indicative of the reality. It just turns out this one person mashed the crap out of the button that wasn't enough. So you have a bad tendency for a lot of people when they, especially in a corporate environment, develop content to fixate really heavily on the more overly obsessive content indulgers more than anyone else, because fundamentally they're more likely to put money into it, but it also means it has a tendency to pigeonhole a lot of the content stuff they do. It works that way if any like games as a service game and whatnot too. Like there's maybe 50,000 people who play the game on a regular, maybe 5,000 or less of those that just pick regular community things. Only of that percentile, only 1% bother to participate in this demographic survey, but they're really keen on this one thing, so that's our main driving force. Like, you guys asked for it and we brought it. It's like, I don't remember asking for that. Didn't ask you. Well, you don't spend $100 a month on this game? Guess I don't. Sweet. Haven't collected all of his shards yet. And a few extra coins here. And that brings us to our last stage here. Next boss challenge. Frosty Freeway. Gotta win the race.
Going fast to find who I am. Woohoo!
Race Dad in the last one, race Mom in this one.
I practiced a lot for this.
Wonder how this thing handles.
So a lot of people start complaining, especially from like major companies like Disney and whatnot, with what they do with a lot of intellectual property as far as decision making for after shows they do and how they format them. Usually in their case, less of a focus on like a heavy demographic. Data as far as like people ask for this, we give them that sort of, as much as a tendency to create content that pigeonholes on specific demographic focuses, which as opposed to some like the earlier Marvel movies, which had a really broad demographic interest, which honestly has helped the success for the Avengers films and whatnot, because everyone wanted to see them. Their major focus now is to create bespoke content for localized demographics, which absolutely reaction to that is most people don't like it because it wasn't made for most people. You get that a lot from things like indie games and whatnot too, but obviously they're not made by AAA companies, so they didn't need the revenue return. Takes us to the end here. Also more random ones. Surprised by that. Normally I'd regularly be getting dash shards at the end of the chapter one, so I'm sure the Randall conclusion comes in. But no matter. We will take them. Haven't quite finished his collection here, but getting closer. Good morning there, Jester. Good to see you. Just finished up chapter 2 here of the part 3 of the season, so getting along with some. Go do the Speedstorm this morning. So far it's been going well. Those first 2 chapters done, so we'll have some more chapters left to check out the next couple weeks here. That'll be 1, 2, 3. I guess that'll be towards the end of the month here. We'll get that. Day 20 of 1 remaining week left, so it's a little less than 4 weeks. The new season starting there at the 1st of March. Plenty of racing left to do here. Let's read that final chapter. See what all it is we can keep getting done as we move along here.